Today we're going to look at Prelude in C by Ferdinando Carulli on page 91 of Beginning Classroom Guitar. This is an excellent arpeggio study that really will help us to be thinking forward in terms of our chord progressions while mastering a very common guitaristic arpeggio pattern in the right hand. So let's go ahead and start with the right hand. If you put your thumb on the fifth string of the guitar, your index finger on the second string, and your M finger on the first string, you're going to have the basic outline of what this arpeggio is going to be. The entire piece is set up in groupings of three, so you're playing triplets. So basically, every beat you're playing a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And the arpeggio is simple. It's thumb, index, middle. Then the thumb moves, in this instance to the third string, thumb, index, middle. Index and middle stay put. So the pattern slowly is fifth string, second, first, third, second, first, fifth, second, first, third, second, first. Triplet, 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 triplet. Gradually go faster as you start to master this pattern. I give a slight accent to the bass notes to give them a little bit more weight, and as you can see in the score, they sustain through the other notes of the arpeggio. Once you have this arpeggio, you really have 75% of this piece done because the rest of the piece is just a chord study. So I'd like to break it down and go measure by measure, talking about each chord. There's one chord per measure. And the best place to start is, of course, measure 1. We see that there are no sharps and flats in the key signature, so if there are any accidentals, they'll be within each measure. So we start out with our old friend, the C chord. C on the fifth string, C on the second string, and open E. And our arpeggio does exactly what we practiced. Fifth string, second string, first string, and then the low note switches to G on the open third string, second string, first string. So the first measure is just the second measure is a very simple movement. We're just basically going to move our first finger from the second string to the first string to F, and our thumb in the right hand moves to the fourth string. So the arpeggio goes fourth string, second string, first string, third string, second string, first string. So as with all chord progressions, the real trick here is planning the change from the first chord to the second chord. And since we know all we have to do is move our first finger from the second string to the first string, this progression is going to be very straightforward for us. Let's continue. The second line, first measure, the third measure of the piece, we have E, C, G. Now, you look at that chord shape and you say, that's going to be tricky to grab all those fingers. For us, we can grab them one at a time. We can grab the E on the fourth string first, followed by the C, followed by the G, and go ahead and just play the arpeggio. We have enough time to grab those notes sequentially. In the right hand, we have fourth string, second string, first string, then to third string, second string, first string. The fourth measure is the same as the second, so we have a repeat chord. Measure of the piece, third line, first measure is the same as the first measure. It's back to our C chord. The sixth measure is B, D, E, and then G sharp on the third string, D, E. So our arpeggio goes fifth string, second string, first string, third string, second string, first string. Next measure, open A, C, E, followed by A on the third string. We now lift up that third string so it'll be open, fifth string, second string, first string, third string, second string, first string. We're now going to play fifth string, third string, second string. So our right hand has to adjust a little bit. The chord shape that we move to is a very beautiful one. We actually move to the bottom notes of a D minor chord. So we're going to play fifth string, third string, second string, fourth string, third string, second string. Then we switch to a G7, our old G7 that we've been playing since very early in your study of guitar. Back to the first chord of the piece. A very interesting change. F, D, F with an A. Another D minor chord shape. The trick here is going to be moving from the C to this shape. The finger that gives it to us is the third finger moving from the fifth string, C, to the fourth string, F. And that gives us the opportunity to set down D and F and then later A. We go to a low G on the sixth string with a C on the second string and an open E, and then the next bass note goes to the G on the third string. Now we go to that G7 shape. Our first finger simply moves to the first string and we have a repeat chord. Back to the first chord of the piece, C. And then a nice arpeggiation of a C chord. The entire piece Again, this study will help us to look forward to the next chord change, to plan ahead for what our fingers need to do to get there, and to really master this triplet pattern PIM arpeggio with a moving bass note.